Hello everyone, this is Benjamin. I am going to be playing against the Alibot today. One of the group members has been having trouble with this one, so I figured why not give it a go. Um let's see. Okay, there it goes. I was wondering why the screen was like that. Okay. So um I don't want okay, there. That's a little better. I'm gonna move this little I can't move this the recording thing. Okay, that's fine. Alright. Standard e4. I should have given it a time control, but that's fine. e5. I always like the standard knight move. Always. And I think he said Italian is one of the openings he usually tried against them. Now, for me, I don't use the... When I get this position, I normally use the Evans Gambit. The reason why I like the Evans Gambit so much, especially early on when I was playing, is because you sacrifice a piece, a pawn, for tempo, and if you're able to keep the tempo, like you have a nice, usually win pretty well early on, if you're able to keep the tempo and the attack going. And then once your tempo is gone, it fizzles out. So it kind of forces you to look for moves to keep your attack going. And that's why I liked it so much. And I found it very helpful. So I'm going to start off with that. And I suggest that that's something that you guys should look into. So, and this is the idea behind it. And this move actually here is, I believe, considered the most solid of all the responses. For black, the bishop can go here. The bishop can't even go here. I think it's a stonewall defense, I believe. Bishop can go here. Like the bishop has anywhere. I even seen this before. I don't even know if it's book opening or not, but the bishop has a lot of moves, and you pretty much have to know a little bit about each one. And for each one, most part, you can either play this or castle, and then continue from there. Here, the reason why this is difficult is because it goes all the way through, and if you move up and he takes, it gets a little difficult trying to hold on to it and attack, and also make sure the rook. But you have to be very particular. So I'm gonna just castle, or should I? I'm gonna be more aggressive actually. I usually castle when I play, but I want to be more aggressive for the purpose of trying to keep the tempo up. And one of the key, there's two key things. Usually the bishop and the queen goes here. I believe it's okay to move the queen here now, hitting the f7 square. And that is very normal. Here you can play bishop to a3, attacking the queen. I believe castle is the correct move here, but I like to put off castling as much as possible. Usually I try to keep going for attacking, and I use the castle when I feel like I need the rook in to help as well. But this is what I normally like to play, but I want to think about it a little bit more. He can come in and call a check. That's okay. That's why. All right. I normally castle early. I don't do the queen. I usually castle first when he plays a5. Most of the lines I don't castle, and I can see why. I almost forgot why. So I'm glad I thought it through. Otherwise, I would have played this, and he could have just came right down. So I'm gonna castle here. Excuse me. I've seen this before. It's just a counterattack for Evans. I've seen this for different types of Evans gambit counter. People have done this as well. It's not. I just simply take. I don't really find it very useful for the most part, and that is the idea behind it. Which, in all reality, it looks kind of threatening because of this, and he can't go back. It just changes the board up a bit, but it's really not that serious. But it does change the game a lot, so it's a really unique line that I've seen a few times. But I'm kind of used to it. The first time I seen it, I got smashed. I kind of panicked. I'm like, oh no, what do I do? You know, he's ready to come in here, and I'm like, what's I'm gonna do with my queen? And I was all panicky. But you can always play here, which is okay, and you can also ignore it and attack his queen, which is what I'm going to do because I'm trying to play as aggressive as possible, not trying to find exactly 100% best moves. I want to play as aggressive as possible here. So, okay, I guess he's playing aggressive as well. So I can just take back. Now, how do I keep the attack going as best as possible? That's pretty much my thoughts. Um, he can take, but if he does, I have the rook move, and his queen will be pinned, so that'd be pretty bad for him. Let me see what else he can do. He can take this pawn. He can take this pawn this way, and he can develop to attack this pawn. He can also just develop this way. That'll be bad because I can take it, so he won't do that. Yeah, he actually can't develop this way. Never mind. So, what would be the best way to continue aggressive-wise? If I take this pawn, I won't have this spot for the rook. And I'm not sure if I want to take the pawn or not. But if I do take the pawn, I also threatening to go up one, which means he would have to move his knight or queen. Now, let's say I take this. And even though I'm leaving this open, I can't use a spot here. I gotta think about how I would continue. Let's say he does that. I probably would just... Yeah, I think I would take it because he can't take this here because if I go up one, he'll have to move the knight and then I get the bishop. So I think that it's actually a pretty good idea to take it, even though I'm not letting my rook to come over, because I have the possibility of attacking this knight, removing his bishop. The queen is an extra benefit, which means he's probably just going to move his queen somewhere, but he most likely isn't going to take here. Most likely will take here, but that would allow me to get this piece here. So I don't see a way for him to actually defend them both. So if there's a way, I want to see if there's a way. I don't really see it myself. Okay, so the plan is to go up and attack his defender to remove it. Okay, that's actually really nice. That's the way. I was a little curious. I'm like, I don't see a way for him to defend his bishop here. He doesn't have to defend his bishop because his attack is stronger than my attack. So I have to answer his attack first. And that's how counterattacking works anyways. If someone's attacking a piece of yours, a counterattack is basically if you're able to attack his king with check or another piece that's more value, then usually your counterattack is better off than the original attack. So that's pretty much how to counter. So now I gotta find a good square for my queen. Queen of b2 maybe. I mean, I can go here one, threatening mate. This actually looks pretty good. I mean, he can defend it, but he'll drop the knight again. So this looks okay, but I want to look at the most aggressive moves possible. Queen to b3 is okay, I think. I'm not really sure what's best, but I do like this here because I'll be threatening mate. And I'm keeping up my pressure on taking this piece. And if he tries to counterattack, I can just win his knight. So I'm going to go ahead with that and continue my attacking. Okay. I didn't see that, but it's not much of a problem because I can simply take it and he can take back. And then after that, I'm able to develop. If I take and he takes back, I actually can develop. So if he might take with his queen, and then I take and then he takes. Because if he takes with his knight, I have this move here. So taking this way is actually, instead of moving my queen out the way, I think it's best. Because it gives me an option to have him blunder. If he takes with his knight, I think that's a blunder for him. So that's good, yeah. Alright. And because this group is mostly under 1,000, when your opponent has more than one capture, sometimes if you keep doing that, there's a good chance that at some point they're gonna make a mistake. So I'm gonna go ahead with that and take. I don't really see a better move anyways. I don't see what else I would do. You know, I mean maybe move my queen down here to block, but that's too passive. The idea with Evan's gambit is to keep finding aggressive moves. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And he takes with the knight, which I think is the bad move. I believe rook to e1 is the best thing here because I get to do that. So that's what I'm going to do here. So he eventually pretty much messed his queen up. Early on, I threatened the queen and I kept trying to find ways to threaten his pieces. And he wasn't able to coordinate very well, which is basically what you have to do. At this level, it's really that simple. That's pretty much all you have to do at this level to make people blunder. Usually around, that's where I'm at anyways, 1491. Normally the way to get me to blunder, or people in my rating range to blunder, is if you keep attacking different pieces and attacking defenders and different lines. It's really easy for us to eventually slip up and blunder. I think the reason being, I believe the reason being is because when I play chess, I normally don't think of every single move every single time. I kind of like, in my head, I'm like, okay, if he goes here, I'll go here, and sometimes I'll just do it without calculating all over again. When I do videos, obviously I get more thought, and when I in the group games and we're talking about the moves that we're doing against the bot, because I'll do screenshots in the group, and I think way more than I normally do in a game, and that's why it looks so much easier. So in a real game, I don't know if I would have played this well against somebody. I mean, I may have, but not every single time. But that's because I give it more thought and I'm really trying to think of each and every single possible move. My first thought is here, just because it's an aggressive place. But if he goes down one, I don't see a way to continue that would be good. I want to be as aggressive as possible. So I'm trying to think of maybe knight to g5. Yeah, because I'm like, my first thought was here, but he has a fork, and that would be bad. I definitely don't want to be forked. And then there is this move here, which if he goes down one, what would I do? Well, I have this knight too. So if I go here, and he goes up one, I can just take his knight, but then he'll take my knight. Then I gotta develop these two last pieces to attack, which I'm going to have to anyways, but I don't want to be forced to do it just because that's all the pieces I have left. I can go here. It looks like a safe square, and he's gonna have to figure out what he's doing with his knight. He can go here. I actually don't like that very much. So this here, now I'm relooking at this here because he can't go here and I don't like that. So if I go here, he can't go here. So if I go here and he attacks, I can actually trade knights and then develop. So I'm going to go ahead and try that out because I don't like his knight right here. It makes me feel very uncomfortable. I'm not really sure how good of a move. Okay, that's different. I'm not really sure how good of a move that would be, but I get very uncomfortable with knights with good support posts. I've had bad luck with that. I don't entirely know when that's like a really super big deal or not. So I usually try, as a general rule, I always take them until I get better. So, and if you're around 1,000 and under, you probably should be very mindful of that and just prevent it when you can. And then when you can have a knight post, you should definitely take it. For example, this knight right here, after I take, if I have a knight right here, that might be okay, but if I move the pawn up and have a knight here or here, and it's defended pretty well, it'll be fine as long as he doesn't have a pawn to attack it. So, I don't see any reason why not to take it, besides the rook. Maybe I want to bring the rook in. I probably can just simply ignore it. I'm thinking about just ignoring it and maybe just moving my knight because I want to develop everything and just keep attacking. He doesn't have a queen and he has 3 pieces back here. And the only thing I don't like about taking this is because of this file right here. I want to keep attacking. I also can take up the queen and making it so I can move and put him in check, which looks a little better. I was thinking about just developing, but I like the idea of creating another possible fork stuff. So with the queen. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to take it with the queen. I think this is good. Oh, he has a fork right here too. So I think I just blundered. I was trying to be aggressive, but maybe I just blundered, but oh well. I mean, it's not super bad. Yeah, what prevents me from blundering is thinking very simple. But thinking very simple isn't getting my rating higher. And when I think complicated a lot, sometimes I make mistakes. And that's fine. I'm going to have to force myself to think complicated and also not make these mistakes. Otherwise, I'm just going to stay where I am. At least that's what I believe. I don't know. I don't have a coach. But I believe that I'm, going to be I've forced myself to do that. So that should be, a lesson learned. When I'm looking at complications that I'm trying to do, I should look at his counterattacking and threats as well. But I also still able to take his rook. So it's basically a trade, but it's not a trade I wanted to do. I wanted to actually try to win something and defend my stuff at the same time. But I guess here we go. Develop with check. Well, not develop with check. He's already all the way across the board. Now I gotta develop all over again. I probably should just bring my other knight into the game and then continue my attack after that. Trying to think of the best way to continue. I'm thinking about going here, calling check, and then bringing my pieces in, but if he goes here and I call it check this way, he can take the pawn, and then I can go in. I think I could walk him up the board a little bit with this move. I think this move is the way to walk him up the board. I'm sure it will lead to checkmate, but I'm not 100% sure clarity-wise. I'm going to go for it because his bishop is over here, so it's not involved. His knight's not involved, his knight's not involved. So if I can bring him this way towards the center of the board, I should be able to create some type of checkmate at some point. Thinking about just going here and calling, sorry about that, here and calling check. I'm not sure what he can do after that. I mean, I'm thinking he can capture, and then I can go in and call check, but then he can move up here afterward and attacking my knight. I can maybe go here. Last time I tried complicated, I blundered, but I'm trying to figure out. I think I'll go ahead and do that. I think it's okay. Only because of the queen move. I have a possibility of going here if needed at some point. If he went back. So yeah, I'm gonna walk him a little bit. I'm gonna see if I can walk him somewheres. Now, with this move here, he can just come down and fork my pieces, which I didn't see earlier, but I still have this available to protect my other knight. And I gotta be mindful of this. I also don't just want to move him out the way. Well, I can. You know, if I did, it'd be fine, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna try to complicate it at least as possible for myself because that's what I blundered last time. So I'm gonna take the pawn. I'm sorry, I have to. I mean, I don't like the idea of him pushing my pieces that way. He got next to his bishop for defense. He can bring his knight in. So I kind of my reasoning didn't really work the way I wanted it to. I wanted to force him somewheres where he couldn't. Maybe I couldn't force him, you know. Maybe it wasn't possible. So I'm gonna have to look at that over for myself and see if there was a way I can actually force him into the corner. And see if I can learn how to do that. And also find a way to do it while not blundering my pieces, basically. So, alright. So, what to do. I like this square, but I can't use it because of these two. I really want this square. I can come in and just maybe do something, but actually I can go here and attack the pawn. It goes back with the theme of being aggressive. I'm just gonna swipe up everything. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna swipe up everything I can. I don't have to worry about back rank make, which is really nice because he has no rooks. So I don't have to even concern myself with moving one of these three pawns. I don't want to trade another piece. I can just take this too. No, I cannot. I almost blundered again. So I think that's what it is. My space and my detail. My mental space and my detail. When I think of taking things like this, I'm not thinking of the whole entire board. So I gotta think both ways, I guess. Maybe just going here and trading off. But I have this theory for free, so I'll just take it. Okay. So I can move this down a little bit, maybe, and get him in position, but I can't go here or here because of the bishop. So that's not good. Maybe bring my bishop, my queen back, maybe. I can go here as well with my queen. I'm gonna maybe threaten his bishop and figure out what to do, because that bishop is going to be blocking my knights off pretty much, and that's no good for me. Okay, that allows me to move in these squares for now. So if I go here, I can maybe take. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go here. Alright. No, I can't take because of the bishop. Alright. This is what happens after I think too much. I start missing simple things. So I'm going to have to, that's what I'm going to do. My homework's going to be. Your guys is to look at how to attack and keep attacking. And like I said, me trying to keep things simple while doing it is left me where I am. And I need to really figure out how to force my mind to go out farther, because I'm just going to be simple and squaring the king with my pieces, if I can. Make him have not many squares, so this is a check. Okay, he doesn't have many squares, so this should be game. Okay, good. Alright, I had to think simple and figured it out. I was trying to be too complicated. I don't like doing simple, but also needed simple, so I gotta figure out the difference for myself of when to do what. Maybe I should think simple first, and then after thinking simple, look for something more complicated. Keeping my stability, well, not. Okay, that actually sounds a good idea. Maybe that's what I should do. It says I didn't blunder, which is weird. I thought I definitely blundered. Let's do an analysis. Or game review. What is that? Okay. Normally more in-depth. They have they'll probably show some more mistakes or whatever. Oh, okay. I did a great move. Not a brilliant one though. These are all book moves. Okay. Just having trouble connecting to the server. It's a little weird. I normally have pretty good connection. So. Oh, my castle was the great move. That's kind of weird. I think that was a little standard, but yeah, this right here is usually kind of rough to deal with. I'm surprised he took right away. What I'm used to seeing is little stuff like moving this here, because if I take it, he gets the queen. This is what I'm used to seeing, stuff like that. You know? But, oh, it's a blunder. Oh, because the queen. I'm sorry. Let me deal with the queen first. Let's see what happens. Oh, he didn't deal with the queen first. Okay. Queen a4. Wait a second. Queen e4. Okay, that was for me. Queen a4 is better than my move for attacking. Can he play this? That's a blunder. Well, I don't know. Maybe that's why he did it. Maybe there wasn't really any good moves. Maybe I found out what I was supposed to do. I haven't seen it in a while. The last time I seen it, it really destroyed me, and I looked into it, and I kind of seen it a tiny bit after that in games, but it wasn't that serious. Okay. Well, at least now you know a counterattack that can cause problems, but you gotta look into it a little bit more. I'm not exactly sure what to do after this, so maybe you shouldn't try it. Let's see. Queen to f6 is best, so you can block this way. Let's see, if I take, for example, a random move, would this be good then? Yeah, it would be. Yeah, it would be. And then what? Knight to c3. So if he goes up, knight to c3 is best. And let's say he takes. Would this be the move? Yeah, this is rough, man. This is rough. I don't know. Okay, so he definitely... This is the good move, obviously. He should have moved here and then moved up. But I'll look at it later. But that's pretty nice, though. Alright, so let's go back to the normal game. I wanted to see that for myself, and I'll look into it later on a little bit more. It's going to take me a while to figure out stuff because I'm almost 1500, so I don't know if I have time on the video for it. But that's pretty much the idea of the process, kind of. Okay. Yeah, queen was the move, that's what I thought he should have played. But he played the wrong one, which is good for me. I like this better. I mean, I don't like the pawn better just because of the rook. Even though I never got a chance to use my rook because of that. So, even though I liked it better for my rook, I didn't have one. So, we just traded rooks. I'm glad. I thought this was a blunder, but I ended up being able to trade. So, pretty much I got lucky. And that's pretty much how it normally goes anyways. Whenever I have like perfect games and it's complicated like that, I just got lucky. I made the right move. So it's very rarely that because the reason I say get lucky is because I didn't understand everything fully. So obviously if I didn't understand everything fully and I made the right move, I got lucky with my correct move. So I don't want to be lucky with my moves. I want to be accurate with my moves. Being lucky isn't going to get me super far. It might help me out with a game or two, but it's not going to help me overall. So I need to understand a few things a little better. I need to understand this rook move a little better and ways to deal with it. Because this is, like I said, the first time it smashed me, this time I got it lucky. He just came in and stacked it. He could have kept the pressure up. I need to understand that more because it's very rare for me to see it, but I always played the Evans Gambit. So it's something I'm going to have to understand way better than I do now. And I don't even know if I don't know if people play at any rating at all either. But you guys see it, so you guys might actually use it. And you already know after here, if somebody move the bishop to attack the queen, if the queen's here, you can simply go to f6 and then plan to move the pawn up, you know? So you have like a little bit of idea of what to do as black if you play it. So, you know, bishop back here, which is always a good move. You know, it attacks this diagonal, and if they're not careful and they put a rook here, you have a exchange up. So it's pretty good. Yeah, I got lucky here, almost took here, but I looked more and I seen the bishop and realized that this is hanging. So okay, I got pretty good with that. That was nice. What I don't get is self-analysis. Let me see something. Okay, mate. That's something I wanted to see. At what point did I have mate? All right. So oh, I'm sorry. I'm doing something I normally do in my games. I want to see where I started making mistakes, but I just realized I kind of didn't. So I don't have to do that part with you guys. I was going to do that with you guys, but I don't actually have to this time. Next time I will. Mate in 7. So here there's mate in 7. Knight to c5, which is what I played. Queen to e5, which is what I played. Queen to e8, which is what I played. Okay, that's good. I normally when I can, I try to squeeze in everything, and that's great because I try to be simple, and that was better. I used to think that I had to be super amazing for stuff like that, but I realized I had to be simple for stuff like that just by squeezing in your opponent's queen. So it's the only thing that takes this is understanding like how to make your king move where you want it to move, and how to reduce the squares. This is a very simple, basic queen and knight checkmate. Even though I didn't see it way back, I already knew that I wanted to restrict the king as much as possible. So that's what I did. Here, obviously, he had almost nowhere to go. He could have went here maybe, but oh, that would have been even faster checkmate. I'll come down here, and then no matter where he would have went, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, there's a whole bunch of different main ones. I would have had a queen to d7 is the checkmate right here. Oh yeah, because of this knight is covering these squares and the queen is covering this square. So this right here is okay. It's not a whole bunch of different mate in ones. He has a whole bunch of moves, but none of them prevent checkmate. So okay. Alright. Well, that was a good game, you guys. I hope you learned something and appreciate it. Maybe you'll start playing the Evans Gambit. I think it's a great opening for white, and you just pretty much have to learn to be aggressive and attack when you do it. I know some of you like to fry the liver as well, which if you're already doing that and it's working well for you, just keep doing it. If you're looking for this or something else, then you can try this out. As long as you're learning to attack is basically what the best thing is for you, in whichever way is possible. Because there's more than one ways to do that. This is one way, and I do like that very much. So this is why I use this way. I used to do the fried liver before, but I eventually stopped. It became too much for me after a certain point. So, all right, good game. Hope you guys enjoyed. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe. You made it this far in the video, please like and subscribe. And if you want to share with your friends or other people or other groups, that would be greatly appreciated because I can actually go live if I get 1,000 subscribers, and I can be typing in chat and answering questions and talking about stuff with you guys. Like while you guys, I'm sure during the video you might have thoughts and questions. I couldn't answer them yet because I could not go live. So please do that. I will be saying that in almost every single video because that's my goal. My goal is to get that. I was told it was very difficult. I don't care if it takes me a year. I don't care if it takes me 2 years. I'm going to go for it because it's something that I want to do with my life, is actually play chess, teach people who are very new, interact with them, and be helpful and just have fun with it. Alright, thank you.